This is a video for the 9th and 10th standard in grammar, where we're going to be looking at some more irregular verbs. Now, these are not particularly prescribed as per your syllabus, but you know for your board exam, anything can come. So we're just doing this to be prepared. Okay? These are irregular verbs which are more advanced than what you have done in the 8th standard, and there is a likelihood that they could pop up for your board exam when you least expect it. Okay? So it's always better to be prepared. I'm going to show you some tricks to help you reduce the number of irregular verbs you can learn, because within the irregular verbs there are small families, okay, which you can club together and learn under one tool. So I'm going to show you 5 of these families today. Let's begin. The first two you have already done before, okay. Mettre is to put, and the next one you will also have done, which is prendre. Okay, so mettre is to put. Let's quickly go through the conjugation that we mean in the present. I've given you the passé composé because basically you only need the participle. I've given you the imparfait and the simple future for the first person. Okay, from the simple future, you will also get the present conditional because the root is the same. From the present tense, you will also get the imperative. Future proche, passé récent, there are no exceptions anywhere. Okay, so for the present tense, mettre is je mets, tu mets, il met, nous mettons, vous mettez, ils mettent. Okay, this is just a revision for you because you've done this in the 8th. Passé composé, mettre, past participle becomes me, j'ai mis. And then you continue to your mis, il a mis, and so on. Okay, imparfait becomes je mettais, then you have to carry on. Tu mettais, il mettait, nous mettions, and so on. Simple future becomes je mettrai, tu mettrais, je mettrai, tu mettras, il mettra, and so on. Okay, so simple future, this function as a normal ER verb, but you just have to remove the E and you will get the root. Okay, now from this mettre, you can get 6 other verbs, okay, which also classify themselves as irregular. But if you go to see, they all end in mettre itself. Okay, so if you know the conjugation of mettre, you can very easily conjugate these as well. You don't need to learn them separately. So admettre, to admit, commettre, to commit, permettre, to permit or to allow something, promettre, to promise, soumettre, to submit. Okay, well, I've been doing lots of submissions on Google Classroom, I suppose. So soumettre is to submit, transmettre is to transmit. So all these 6, okay, which end with mettre, go the same way as the verb mettre itself. Okay, now the next one you've also done is prendre. Okay, prendre is to take. So je prends, tu prends, il prend, nous prenons, vous prenez, ils prennent. Okay, passé composé, just like mettre becomes me, prendre becomes pris. Okay, so j'ai pris, tu as pris, and so on. Imparfait, you take the new form minus ons becomes je prenais, tu prenais, il prenait, and so on. Simple future, like a normal RE verb, you cancel off the last E, you get je prendrai, tu prendras, il prendra, and so on. Okay, now from prendre, just like mettre, you got soumettre, admettre, and so on. From prendre, you can get apprendre, which is to learn, comprendre, to understand, surprendre, to surprise, méprendre, to mistake, and entreprendre is to undertake. Now, if you take the past participle of entreprendre, you know it will become entrepris. Okay, because prendre is pris, entreprendre will become entrepris. Okay, so now you know from where the English word enterprise comes from. Okay, so if you know prendre well, you can conjugate these 5 without any problems. There's no need to learn them separately. Now the next 3 are new for you. Okay, within the irregulars, you will have some ending with U-I-R-E, and they all conjugate the same way. Okay, so one example I've given you is conduire, which is to drive. Okay, conduire, U-I-R-E. So here is how the present tense is. Je conduis, tu conduis, il conduit, nous conduisons, vous conduisez, ils conduisent. Okay, so this is how the present goes for the UIRE verbs. The past participle, UIRE becomes UIT. So j'ai conduit, tu as conduit, and so on. Imparfait becomes you cancel ONS and then you add the endings. Je conduisais, tu conduisais, so on. Simple future, this again like a normal RE. Just have to cancel the last T and add the ending. Je conduirai, tu conduiras, il conduira, and so on. Now, if you know conjugate properly, okay, UIRE, you can get multiple verbs which are irregular and end with UIRE. Okay, you don't have to learn them separately. construire, which is to build, réduire, to reduce, introduire, to introduce, traduire, to translate, produire, to produce, instruire, to instruct. Okay, there are many more which end with UIRE and they follow the same rules as conjuire. So you learn conjuire and you're good to go with all these kinds of UIRE verbs. Okay. Next, we have the INDRE ending verbs. There are quite a few here as well, okay, which end with INDRE. So I've taken, for example, craindre, which is to fear or to get scared of something. Okay, so je crains, tu crains, il craint, nous craignons, vous craignez, ils craignent. Okay, this is how craindre goes. Okay, INDRE. Now, past participle for INDRE becomes INT. Okay, so je crains, tu as craint, and so on. Imperfect, same way, cancel ONS for new form, you'll get je craignais. Okay, tu craignais, and so on. Simple future, again normal RE, so you just cancel the E and you get je craindrai, tu craindras, and so on. Okay, so this is how INDRE verbs function. You can apply the same rules for craindre too. So plaindre, which is to complain, peindre, which is to paint. Okay, éteindre is to extinguish, to put out, put off. Atteindre is to attain, to reach something somewhere. Teindre is to die, die as in to put color for something. And joindre is to join. Okay, so all these INDRE verbs follow the same rules as you have seen for craindre. Okay. And the last section is the INCRE verbs. Okay, there are only two of these, vaincre, and from vaincre you get convaincre. Okay, vaincre is to defeat, to overcome something, and from that you get convaincre, which is to convince. Okay, so you learn vaincre properly, you will get convaincre just adding con in front of it. Okay, so vaincre conjugates as je vins, tu vins, il vint, nous vainquons, vous vainquez, il vainc. Can you see how the C has become QU? Okay, this is why it is the exception. Je vins, tu vins, il vint, nous vainquons, vous vainquez, il vainc. Okay, now this, the participle follows the normal rule. For RE verbs, you have to cancel the RE and put U. Okay, so j'ai vaincu, for convaincre, it will become j'ai convaincu. Okay. Imparfait, same rule, cancel ONS from the new form and at the ending, je vainquais, tu vainquais, so on. Future simple, again same rule, cancel the E and you'll get the root. Je vaincrai, tu vaincras, il vaincra, nous vaincrons, vous vaincrez, ils vaincront. Okay, that is the way you have to deal with these INCRE verbs. Okay, so with that, these are some few more additions to your vocabulary of irregular verbs that you have already started building up right from your 8th standard. Thank you.